Okay, I think I have this figured out. So here's the circuit. Let me talk about the circuit just a little bit. I have a 12-volt supply here that goes to the tortoises. Just for sake of keeping things a little cleaner, I've got a separate 12-volt supply here for the LED indicator board circuit. That could be separate, or we could pull it off the same power supply. It doesn't really matter because they're independent of each other through the relays. But that's what I've drawn here. Again, just like my previous video, these switches here basically just represent the rotary. So those are all, in theory, tied together. Tinkercad's pretty limited on what it has. And then the orange and green wires basically represent tapping the power that goes to the tortoises to throw them one direction or the other. And so then what I've done is I've put an LED in here for each track, and then a relay circuit for each one, and I've labeled them the same as what's on Dave's diagram. So I've got the Y and then turnouts 1 through 6. These red dots represent the LEDs in the circuit. So I've got A through J, and over here I have A through J, just for simplicity or demonstration purposes. Okay, so right now, if we look at the circuit and we look at the LEDs, if we were to look up at the board, LEDs B and C are on. So if we looked up at the board, we'd see LEDs B and C on, A and D are off. So that shows that this turnout is thrown to the Y and this turnout is thrown. So this is selected. Again, A and D would be off. I can't remember if these two are tied together so they always throw at the same time. It seems like something Dave would do, but because it makes sense, but I don't know that. So for the sake of this demonstration, they're not. But if they are, we could just put one LED here and make it even a little simpler to understand. If they were to get thrown, if the Y turnout and turnout 1 were to get thrown, we'll flip over here and we'll throw the Y turnout and we'll throw turnout 1. Now we see the LEDs A and D are on. So if we go look at the map, A is on, B has gone off, A is on, so that indicates that this turnout is thrown this way, and D is on to indicate that this turnout is thrown this way. Okay, that's basically the Y. Now let's talk about the ladder over here. So currently, LED F is on. So LED F indicates that we're going to go to staging track 1. So this is thrown this way, depending on how those switches back here in the yard are thrown. We're going to come from IF through this turnout to staging track 1. If we were to throw turnout 2, if we wanted to go to Yellowstone, and we turn the rotary until this turnout throws to divert to the Yellowstone branch, then LED E goes on. So that's on now, indicating we're going to the Yellowstone branch, and the rest of them are off. So you could very easily look up and see that if you run this way, whether you're coming from the Y or from IF, Roberts or IF, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. Once you cross here, you're going to go to Yellowstone because that's the LED that's on. If we throw that turnout number 2 back, if we realign it, normalize it, now we're back up to LED F being on, so we're running in at staging track 1. If we align that turnout, then where were we going to go? Okay, Looks like turnout 4 is thrown, so LED G is on. So we're going to go into 2. If we were to align that away from the staging track, now what's on? Oh, LED J is on. As you can see, that turnout 4 is going this way. Turnout 5 is thrown up, so it's going to this way. Turnout 6 is thrown up, so it's going this way. So LED J comes on because we're going to go into track 5. If we throw this switch, then we go LED I comes on and we go into track 4, so on and so forth. Whatever switch diverts to a staging track, the rest of the LEDs go off. So if the rotaries are set so that turnout 4 diverts to its staging track, then LED G comes on and we're going to staging track 2, so on and so forth. So that would be one end. We'd build another circuit like this for the other end, so that we would have LEDs down at this end indicating where those tracks are going. Because, you know, of course, with the 2 sets of rotaries, with the 2 rotaries, we could have this end aligned to track 4 and this end aligned to track 5 or track 2 or whatever. And so if we had the LEDs, then it would be very easy to see. Say you had that case. Say you had this end aligned to 4 and this end aligned to 5. Well, you'd have an LED on here and you have an LED on here. The rest of them would all be out. And so you'd know very easily just looking up at the board that this end you're going to go here and this end you're going to go here. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe it's not. Maybe you need to turn the rotary for this end. Get it aligned where you want it. Anyway, that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's not terrible. I don't think it would be terrible to build. And I think it'd work. So give me feedback and let me know what you think.